For more on this, I'm joined from Pullman, Washington by Christina Chi with Washington State University. She's a professor at the School of Hospitality Business Management. Welcome to the program, Professor.
Good evening, Gerald.
Hi there. So, figures from the recent National Day holiday break in October show tourism numbers in China about 80% what they were last year. On the domestic front, that's quite encouraging, is it not?
Yes, the COVID-19 pandemic has dealt a devastating blow to the travel and tourism industry due to the travel restrictions imposed by various countries, as well as a dampened demand among the traveling public for fear of catching the virus. The UN WTO estimated a decline of between 60 to 80% of international tourist arrivals in 2020, which will result in close to $1 trillion loss in tourism revenue. So the industry has been through many crises over the years, but never in such a massive scale. Mainland China has been quite successful in containing the pandemic, so life is largely back to normal. There are still some small regional virus outbreaks here and there, but the government is experienced and they can quickly control the spread. Because of that, people's confidence level is very high and they are itching to travel. And you see now crowds in airports, train stations, tourist attractions, and restaurants and hotels. And as you say, just now 80% back to normal. And actually, according to McKinsey's recent report, the air and railway travel in China, mainland China, has almost returned to the pre-pandemic level. And the hotel occupancy has also almost reached last year's level, according to Smith Travel Research. However, international travel still remains off the table because of the worldwide travel restrictions.
So how do you see that rebounding then, Professor?
China has been one of the most important source markets for outbound travel. So in most years, you see millions of Chinese travel overseas and spend billions of dollars. But this year, they have to stay closer to home. This turns out to be a blessing for the domestic tourism. The middle class and affluent Chinese, they are eager to travel, but instead of going abroad, now they will try to find beach getaways and remote and nature-based locations in China. And now you see the domestic high-end leisure travel is booming. So this is one of the reasons why China's domestic tourism rebounds so quickly.
Right. Now, Professor, the tourism sector has tried to come up with creative ways to stay relevant, such as offering virtual tours. How effective are they? And, are they sustainable long term?
Actually, I was interviewed last time by Mike about virtual travel. So I explained to him that virtual travel is the next best solution to actual travel, right? Because people, just like what the China's experience shows, when people feel safe to do so, they are ready to travel. They're going to actually do the physical travel to go to see places, to take that vacation and see places. And they talk about just now in the segment talk about the air travel bubble, right, between Hong Kong and Singapore. That's another creative strategies that the travel and tourism industry is coming up with. But that delay of the launch just shows how delicate the process of reopening borders could be, even for places with low COVID cases. And it's called bubble for a reason, right? Because bubbles could easily pop.
Right.
Yeah, and the Hong Kong Singapore travel bubble was supposed to serve as a model for destinations with low COVID cases to start quarantine-free travel. But for that model to work, both sides need to have low COVID cases. But in current environment, when the COVID spread is still rampant in most parts of the world, it's really difficult to implement such travel bubbles.